Hey everyone, I'm Soorya Ramesh.
And I'm John Ravi, and you're listening to
Two
Two
Brown
Brown
Accents.
Accents.
Today we're going to be talking about dreams. Okay, um, let's get started. John, when I say dreams, what do you think of?
Okay, it could be one of two things. One, like your aspirations, your goals in life, what you think about before you fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then in conjunction with that, what you think about while you are asleep too. So I guess you're not like physically or consciously thinking about it, but your subconscious somehow conjures up images in your head and you replay it out in your sleep, and that's dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the two things I think about.
Right. Okay. Do you think the dreams you have at night have meaning in your life?
Okay, so this is might be a long-winded answer. Stop me if I go on too much.
Mm-hmm. I will.
Okay. So this time, please do.
Okay.
So I think that we have a world view, like our brain has a view of the world that we enhance as we go through life. And I think dreams are a way to just play out that worldview. So like, like I have certain understanding of who you are. I have a certain understanding who other people in my life are and how the world generally works. And I think that like whatever you think about, for example, right before you fall asleep, maybe triggers some form of like memories, right? And like just place it out. Sometimes dreams can be very weird too. Like brains can do really weird things. So maybe not everything's like realistic, but what's really weird, some people call it sixth sense, where the like your dreams somehow connect to the real world somehow. Like you dream something the night before, maybe later that day or later that week, it ends up coming true. Like you get a weird sense of deja vu.
Deja vu, yeah.
Exactly. So I think the reason why that happens is because like the brain is just really good at recognizing patterns, and like you think that okay, this might happen, and it does happen, right? It's like I can't explain it, right?
Has it ever happened to you, deja vu?
Actually, yeah, like it's
Do you
really
remember anything? Can you
I mean nothing
off the top of your head?
too
Okay.
like cool, right?
Okay.
It's like okay, like it's nothing like oh the stock's gonna go up, I should buy the stock, right? I wish it's like that, right?
Sure,
It's
sure.
something really mundane like okay, like maybe I think of a song in the dream, and then suddenly during that day, I hear that song right on the
Okay.
radio or something.
Yeah.
Like it's
Even if it's like a really old song or like very
yeah.
improbable,
Yeah,
you
because
still end up.
that's why I remember I'm like, okay, wait, I just like dreamed about this last night. Like, how does that connect at all, right? Like
Right.
it's really weird. Like you get strange sense of deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like I have a dream that about this person in my life, right? Which I haven't talked to in like so long. They suddenly text me out of the blue that day, right? Like how does those two things relate? Like
Okay.
I can't
Yeah.
explain it,
So you
right?
think there's like some unknown sense of some connection, something
Yeah.
that's just giving you a signal that hey, something's about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's paranormal, right? I just
Right.
think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's just like a
It's
brain
just your
is
brain
it's a really
forming.
good prediction machine.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So like you just like have a sense like an intuition
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think like people should listen to their subconscious brain too,
Right.
and like not just conscious brain too, like your gut feeling, right?
Right. Right.
It's like you should sometimes go with your gut feeling, like don't overanalyze certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
And your brain's way of telling you this when you're not over analyzing, when you're just like not thinking at all, it's just like
That's dreams.
you dream. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay.
And
Getting
one other thing. Oh, I mean, continue. Go ahead. Do you have more questions?
you can finish your thought before.
Well, so I think one other thing I want to point out is that everyone has multiple dreams per night.
Mm-hmm.
You just end up remembering the most recent dream of that night.
Okay.
Like that's something that I did in high school. One of my AP psychology teacher actually he recommended us doing is keep a dream journal, a sleep journal.
Sure.
So like you record what you dreamt that night, because like right when you wake up, that's when you remember the most about the dream, right? Because like 20 minutes pass by, 30 minutes pass by, like the dreams start to fade.
Yeah. No, I know that certain people try to, record their dreams, keep waking up to record their dreams so they
Oh.
can kind of control their dreams.
That's
I think it's called lucid dreaming or something. I don't know. But
Interesting.
there's some kind of, it's like a weird thing. But yeah, some people try doing that, like dream consciously. Um, okay, moving on to the second kind of dream. What is your dream goal in life? What is your dream?
Well, That's a very interesting question because a lot of my dreams that I had when I was a kid, I achieved them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I wanted to work at a big tech company, specifically Nvidia, and work in the Silicon Valley, like the cradle of innovation for
Mm-hmm.
technology. And I'm here doing that
Right.
right now, right? I'm living the dream.
Mm-hmm.
But dreams evolve, right? There's something that you strive to attain for, and like there should be goalposts, and the goalpost moves when you achieve them, right?
Yeah.
So right now, my dreams have become larger, right? Like one day I want to be a like a big tech leader, right? Like I mean, not just a manager, but also like an executive at a company.
Right.
So like I want to work towards that dream. I don't think it'll happen like next year, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
just started my career.
So it's a long-term
It's a
goal. Yeah.
long-term goal. Yeah, dreams I feel like have to be long-term goals. Like
Mm-hmm.
cuz I've dreamed about working at Nvidia since high school, right? That's what I talked about in like a few podcasts ago.
Yeah.
So like having these long-term goals, like there's multiple long-term goals, right? Like we talked about running a marathon together.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my dreams. The other dream, like career, right? Another dream is about having a family,
Right.
raising them in the way that I feel like, you know, is good,
Yeah.
and continue on the legacy, right?
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Something I can pass on to the next generation.
Mm-hmm. Dreams don't have to be just one thing, right? Like you
Yeah.
can have multiple dreams, and
And
yes,
they'll evolve, right? They're
yes.
like, yeah.
I'm actually glad you brought this up, because one of my future questions is going to involve we're going to get back to these multiple dreams.
Okay.
Okay, so let's focus on your goal of becoming an executive leader. Right? That's your dream. If I ask you, hey John, what's your dream? That's what you're gonna say.
Mm.
Not what you dreamt of yesterday night or something like that, right? What's your dream versus what did you dream? Okay,
Although
so
sometimes I do dream about that. Like
oh sure,
I do share that with you too, right? Like last night I had this dream that like I ran into this VC,
right.
right, and I pitched him my idea, right, and
Hmm.
then, like he was wanting to
Yeah,
invest
yeah,
in that,
yeah.
and we did talk about this
Uh-huh.
stuff. So
Okay, so what happens when you achieve your dream? So let's say this dream, unlike when you were a kid, you dreamt of working in a big tech company, which you're doing right now,
mm,
and yeah, now as you say, you've reached this milestone, so now you have bigger dreams.
mm.
What happens when you reach that goalpost? Because by the time you reach that dream, let's say you're going to be closer to retirement. At that point, you're not.
I hope not. I hope I'm not 60 years old and finally reach that dream.
No,
Like I
maybe even
wanna.
even if you're like 45, right? Like 45, 50 when you reach that. What happens after? Are you gonna like? Could there be a bigger dream or?
Probably, right? Like I think there's always gonna be something more
Hmm.
that I want,
Okay.
right? I mean, not to say that like when I do achieve these dreams, like I achieved the dream I just talked about, right? Working in Silicon Valley, I feel a lot of gratitude to be like lucky enough to have achieved these dreams. Because a lot of people, their dreams just stay dreams.
Sure. Yeah.
And like I'm not naive enough to think that I achieved this by myself.
Hmm.
Right? A lot of people along the way mentored me and like gave me support to achieve these dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I think like
Achieving your dreams definitely involves not just hard work, but also a little bit of luck, right? Like being at the right place at the right time.
and you're standing on the shoulders of giants,
Hmm.
right? So like I'm working on technology because of other people who worked on like maybe mundane stuff,
Yeah.
right? I get to
Yeah.
work on this like really cool
Right.
AI stuff,
Hmm.
but everyone else had to do like a bunch of like mundane like stuff to get to this level.
Hmm.
So
Okay. I have two more questions.
okay, continue.
What happens if you don't achieve your dream? Let's say you turn like 65, 70. You're like maybe like, you're like higher up in the ladder compared to where you are, but you're maybe like nowhere close to being a senior executive or something, right? You don't achieve your dreams. What happens then? How do you feel, or what do you think you'll feel like?
Hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting to think about, right? Like it's like
Because you just said a lot of people don't achieve their dreams, right? And nothing wrong in that.
I'm trying to think in my life.
Yeah.
There's like instances of dreams that I didn't achieve. I mean, maybe like something physical, right? So in high school, I was on the swim team.
Hmm.
I really wanted to make it to nationals,
Right.
right? I mean, like this is like a really, really big goal because
Sure.
I started swimming in 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people who were swimming with me, competing with me, are have been swimming since like little kids, like 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I made it to states, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I definitely didn't like qualify for nationals, right? Like I
Sure.
tried pretty hard. Probably could have tried harder, right? But like it was kind of a letdown. I was sad, right? I don't know. I guess maybe that's not like a long term dream. Like
But do you feel like you kind of grew out of that dream,
I
or
mean, I still
do you
swim
have any
now.
regrets,
We
or
still swim every week,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
we still do it. I feel like me pushing myself back then made me like enjoy the sport
Mm-hmm.
and made me like want to keep doing it, right? So like I'm better swimmer now than I would have been if I never had that dream in the first place, right?
Right.
Even though I didn't achieve it,
Oh yeah, yeah, for
right? So
sure.
I think similarly you can say about this too that like, I'll push myself more
Right.
career
By having
wise
this, yeah,
by having this dream,
100%,
right?
yeah.
I mean, there's a saying
And
like,
you truly believe in achieving the dream, so it's not like,
yeah,
hey, this is just to push myself. It's
no,
like, hey,
it's
I want this.
there's no plan
This is
B.
only like a worst case scenario. Like this is just a talk. Like this is just a question I'm
Yeah,
asking you.
like I mean, it
I know
was
you believe
like computer
100%.
engineering, right? Like
Yeah.
I chose one major, there was no plan B.
Uh-huh.
Like if I didn't succeed in a major, I would like maybe drop out, right? Like
Sure.
I
Sure.
wouldn't have considered any other major to
Yeah.
major in. So I think similarly here too. Like I have just dreams, and it's gonna happen, right?
Okay.
The question is when,
Okay.
basically.
Sounds good. There's one last question. I know we're slightly over time, but one last question. Let's say to achieve this dream, how much are you willing to sacrifice on, right? Like let's say you just pointed out that you had 2 3 dreams, right? And these are some of the major
Like you're
ones.
saying, like if I had to choose between like
Let's say, yeah, let's say you have to choose between your family on one side
yeah, that's
versus
a
becoming the senior executive, right? Like what do you do? Like if you like how much are you willing to sacrifice on to achieve one dream? Is one dream bigger than another? Like what are the compromises you're willing to make?
that's a great question.
Uh-huh.
I worry about this a lot because I mean I don't have a family right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not married, single.
Mhm.
I'm just putting it out there,
Mhm.
but
For our audience out there, send us emails, guys. Keep them coming. He's single, huh?
no, but like seriously, like I do worry about this because I know one day like it will be of a concern, right? Because it will like have a wife, kids,
Yeah.
right? It's be hard to juggle everything. Like
And you will be put in that spot multiple times, I want to
yeah,
say, right? It's a long life ahead.
I don't know. I don't have a good answer right now. I think I mean I would put the family first.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to believe, because there's things that I don't think people should compromise in. Like I mean, work is always there. Work is work. But I think family is very important, right? Like you can only raise kids like once,
Yeah.
right? Like maybe after they go, they can like do the whole career thing.
Yeah.
I think it is possible to juggle everything. I don't know. I don't have experience. But the good thing is I know people who are doing it well.
Sure.
So I'm gonna rely on them and see like what they did successfully,
Yeah.
and see if I can emulate that in my life too.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say, like, there's always going to be compromises, right? Like, it's like they say, when you have time and money, when you're a kid, you have, what is that? Money and energy. Sorry,
No,
time and
time
energy,
and
but no
energy,
money.
but no money.
When you're in college, or when you're like a young adult, you have money and energy, but no time.
Yeah,
And when you're like old and retired, you have money and time,
but
but
no
no
energy.
energy. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's always compromises, right? But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I had, and we can always, way into the future in a future podcast, we can get back to this question, see if you have more answers on this.
Exactly.
Yes, I think this was a great talk.
Yeah. Thanks
Yeah,
for listening for our podcast this week. If you have any feedback or want to share anything, email us at twobrownx's@gmail.com.
and that should be all from us for this week. See ya.
Bye bye.